Charlie, welcome everybody. You're welcome to your number one show for all your NBA playoffs news, updates, analysis. In fact, not only the NBA playoffs, everything that happens in the NBA. So if we've got off-season trades, we'll let you know about it. If we've got some big news that is making the headlines in the NBA, we'll let you know about it. My name is Slimo. Today I'm in the studio with Kweku and Teddy to do all the breakdown for you. Remember, we are still in the NBA Finals Game 2. Now let's get this assertion right. If we are not going to agree that the Miami Heat are the best team in the playoffs this year, we should agree that they are the toughest team in the playoffs. They play with great energy, passion, and even when it's not going well for them, they still show up for you. The Miami Heat beat the Denver Nuggets in the high altitude. They are the first team to beat the Denver Nuggets at home. For the first time, the Denver Nuggets have lost at home in the playoffs. So the Miami Heat beat the Denver Nuggets by a 111-108 victory. And then it just made the finals more interesting. People thought the Nuggets were going to maintain home court advantage, get that 2-0 lead, and then go back to Miami. But Jimmy Butler said no, Bam Adebayo said no, and most importantly, Gabe Vincent with another big game for the Heat said no. Now, let me start with you, Kweku. What did you see about that game that made you happy about the Miami Heat? Because they've been playing so well. They've been underrated for a lot of times, but they really pulled up in Denver.
Yeah. So before this final started, I tipped both of them to win because this is like one.
So you didn't have it one way for the Nuggets.
One of the NBA finals that you don't know for sure who's going to win. Because I thought, Denver Nuggets could win to help their franchise, the franchise history. And then I want Udonis Haslem to retire proper. You understand?
Yeah.
So going to the game, I was like, Denver will obviously have the Denver Heights, the altitude advantage
and everything.
But then in game 2, Miami Heat was like, nah, bro. You see, let's be honest with ourselves. Jimmy Butler hasn't been shooting well as we expected him to shoot.
But his all-round play is okay.
He's making plays alright, but he hasn't been scoring as we expected him to. Bam is on and off a bit. But then the role players, oh my goodness, see, Miami Heat is one of the most underrated
drafted players.
Yes.
Call them what they are. Call them what they are. Yes, call them what they are.
Bro, Gabe Vincent, Strutz,
Caleb Martin even didn't have his best of days, but a very huge shot in the fourth quarter.
But then Miami Heat, when they were playing the Eastern Conference Final, they were, when after they won 3-0, they came to lose 3-0
games straight,
in the game 7. Eric Spoelstra did something with the zone defense. You see, when you are like, if you watched this second game too, you will see he didn't try to defend Jokic. He will make Jokic score as much as he wants.
That's our point of coming to.
Say Jamal Murray will get the ball. Say what Bruce Brown. You see, when Jokic was on the bench, they were playing better because they play Eric Spoelstra design. It was to just make Jokic score, but no one else to score. So if Jokic has the ball and he can't score, no one else is scoring, and that leads to the plenty turnovers they had, and then obviously losing the game as well.
Teddy, now the last time you were here with Kiki, you guys made a statement that Eric Spoelstra should start another big, and it seems like it worked for him. When Kevin Love was on the floor, you could feel like there was more height equality with the game, because we know the Denver Nuggets are so big, MPJ is so big. In fact, KCP also has some huge size, and then we have, of course, Nikola, Jokic. But with Kevin Love on the floor, it seems like everything else changed. And then coming to that zone defense as well, even though Miami Heat played a zone defense, we thought Jokic was going to completely obliterate them. He did score a lot of points, but it wasn't enough to give the Denver Nuggets the victory.
The playoffs is tied and we're here for it. I'm so happy this series is tied, because people were really not into this finals. They were like, this is one of the worst finals, but now it's tied. So now it's open to anyone.
Don't know how serious Miami is.
So the last time we were here and we were talking about starting Kevin Love, and this is when coaches prove that they are one of the best. And Coach Spoelstra, I have so much respect for this guy, because we were talking about putting Love on the shadow defense behind Jokic, and then allowing Bam to relax on the shadow defense. But then he didn't do that. He put Love on Aaron Gordon, and then he
allowed
Butler to guard Murray.
Yeah.
And then you see, Murray scored 24 points in another game, and then this game it was lower. I think he brought it to almost 16. Yeah. That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
18. Actually.
18. So you see, it's good. So it gives Butler the opportunity to actually do what he's supposed to do, perimeter defend. Because like we said the last time, Murray has actually rendered more better point guards like Shooter, like Russell, very, very useless. And then now he has a defender on him in the name of Butler, who's so amazing. Who, when he's on you, because I watched one of the on the USA team when he was guarding some of the players. It's so amazing to watch. Butler is one of the best defenders in the league, and I think if Spoelstra keeps on letting him guard Murray in this series, it's going to be a deadly thing. And I think Denver should try to maneuver their way. The coach Malone is one of the best, and I think he can do something. But then they should do something fast and quickly because it's sinking fast. This tank.
Oh, why
so
is this
sinking.
1-1?
Oh no, it's just one. No, look, it looks like it's one game, but then if you don't solve it, it will trickle down to the next game.
Yeah. Now, quick, when you look at Nikola Jokic and his Arsenal. When we say Nikola Jokic has a good game, it's usually a triple-double. This time around, he scored 40 plus points. He had his usual rebounds. But one side where he didn't, in fact, have his day was the assist. So it seems like where the Heat prevailed was not letting Nikola Jokic pass the ball a lot. And in fact, the most of the times he was able to pass the ball a lot. MPJ didn't have his day. He wasn't able to hit the shots. KCP didn't have his day. So is it that with the Denver Nuggets, if you don't let Nikola Jokic pass the ball around a lot, you might have a way with them?
Nikola Jokic, apart from Jamal Murray, is like their ball. Those are the two ball handlers in the team. And Jamal Murray was having an off day in the first quarter. He didn't score at all. He started scoring in the second quarter. But then you see, that's what I said earlier. I said Eric Spoelstra drew a plan to let Jokic score. Jokic could score 50 points last game. But for you to pass the ball to Jamal Murray, pass the ball to Aaron Gordon, pass the ball to
Caldwell Pope,
KCP. Oh. Michael Porter Jr. who's on KCP. You won't be able to do that because it's like one-on-one defense. They've marked so Jokic had no option than to either
score himself.
Yeah. So that's why he had least assists. I think he had 4 assists.
Yeah, just 4 assists.
Yeah.
Very shocking. For a player like Jokic, we've attributed him to having usually 9 assists, 10 assists, 11 assists. That didn't work for him. Now, he spoke of KCP and then Michael Porter Jr. Terrible game offensively, but defensively. KCP kept fouling 3-point shooters, taking them to the line. It really cost the Denver Nuggets. Now, with the Nuggets going back to Miami, we know, of course, the Kaseya Center is kind of the fortress for Miami. They've also been very good this year in the playoffs. What do you see happening in Game 3? And do you think Miami can be able to defend home court?
Obviously, with what I saw, because I think the Denver Nuggets defense wasn't good in a sense that how can Robinson come in 2 minutes, score 10 points in a row? It doesn't make sense. And you see, during that time, Robinson was taking charge and scoring that 10 points. Jimmy Butler was their facilitator, so he was giving passes. He looks like he's going to lay up and then he passes to the open look guy.
Draws the attention from the defense.
And then when we were like, okay, so who is going to take over? Will Jimmy Butler take over? And then he obviously took over in the last part of the game, and that is what we like to see. Jimmy Butler should be able to take charge. And going to Miami, Denver, you've had your chance to take your two lead, and you gave one out. Now you are going to the other side to Miami, and you see that home court thing. People feel it's not true, but it's a real thing. When you have the opposition fans booing at you, shouting at you, and then the court is so loud, and you're not hearing your own people cheering for you. But then going into this game, Jokic is a big time player. Murray is a big time player. They're going to this game with so much focus. And one player I'm tipping to actually perform hard, and I want to perform hard, is Bam. Bam has been very amazing. Even in this game, he did actually score more, but then he did actually score like he scored in the first game. But then he has to continue scoring the 20 plus point games. Give us that Bam. Give them the rope, because when your shooters, like we said the last time, they are not prolific shooters. When they are struggling, they look up to you, because when they are struggling, Butler is struggling, you are the go-to guy. And if you are the one we are giving the ball, we expect you to bully your way through the weak defense of Jokic, because Jokic is not a good defender. We've known this and we've been saying this. So just bully your way through it, get your 20 plus points, 25 points, and block some balls from these shots undrafted players, and then let's go for the win.
Interesting. Now, Kweku, I want to know your thoughts on Game 3. Miami Miami could also have a big advantage with maybe the returning Tyler Hero. Do you see him making a big impact just coming off of that injury, or Exposure is just going to take it slow, give him a minute reduction, maybe just some 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the finals?
With this, I feel like Eric Spoelstra shouldn't just insert him into the rotation. You should let him come from bench and not spoil the connections this team have built throughout the playoffs. Because right now, let's say you start Tyler Hero, he's coming from what, about 10 weeks?
Yeah. Almost missing the whole of the just played game one.
You understand?
In the playoffs.
Yeah, so about 10, 11 games. So he has to like come slowly. Like he doesn't have to come through. And then Denver going to Miami. See, Denver, their way of winning in this playoff has been home court advantage.
Yeah. Never lost.
And for you to give up
win in your home.
In your home.
That's
going to a Miami team.
So bad.
See, Miami team, that's Miami team. They look like they are not playing well. When you are watching it, you're like, how is Miami playing? In the end, they will win. See what they did to.
Hey, I'm still recovering. Relax. I'm still recovering.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. So Denver either has to get one in Miami. So I'm seeing a game 7 because either way it's Golden State Nuggets or Miami Warriors. So
the Warriors.
One thing I'd like to add is the Miami shooters should keep on firing from all cylinders.
Max Strus was excellent.
Keep on firing from all cylinders. Even if it's an air ball, keep shooting, because the only thing that helps Miami, and in the Celtic game, one thing was so mind-boggling. Like, Butler is not scoring, Bam is not scoring, but these people are still leading us. How is it happening?
Exactly.
It is from their shooters. So Miami always take the lead when their shooters are always shooting. They are shooting well. So I think going into this game, they should shoot better. And then, like we said, Bam and Jokic can score 100 points and I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. I won't even ask why. I won't even watch the video because he's that guy. But then this is one disadvantage of also running your plays around a big guy. You see, now he's the only person who has to do the addition. And if they are giving him the luxury, putting small guards on him, letting him get into his groove of scoring and shooting, and he's actually making it, then the other players are going to suffer for it. So I think Malone should do something and get the ball to KCP. And KCP is actually giving me Lakers bubble vibes when they actually needed him and he wasn't stepping up, and it was actually Rondo shooting threes in the bubble, which was so shocking. So KCP should shoot better, and Michael Porter Jr. is one of the most amazing talents I've ever seen. He's very he's giving me Clay vibes too, but then he has to actually, because if they are going to win this series, it's Michael Porter Jr. He has to step up.
Interesting things to happen in game 3 that comes off on Wednesday. We'll give you all the analysis and the breakdown when that comes off. Now, when the NBA playoffs come to an end, we enter into the NBA offseason where there are going to be some interesting trades. We enter into free agency as well. But that is where sometimes those interesting trades come to mind, where we see one player move from team A to team B. We see the hypothetical trades as well. And Athletic NBA insider Shams Charania just reported that Kyrie Irving has reached out to Lakers star LeBron James in an attempt to see if James will come to Dallas. Irving is a free agent this offseason. Kyrie and the drama once again. We spoke about Kyrie and where he could move this season. We thought maybe he could move to the Lakers, but it seems like he's trying to stay with the Dallas Mavericks and then recruit his longtime friend LeBron James. Teddy, I'll start with you on this one. You said that with Kyrie and the shenanigans, and he's at it again because it's unexpected for him to say, okay, I'll maybe stay with Dallas but try to recruit LeBron James. Do you see that happening?
It doesn't look like happening, because if I am the Dallas GM, I'll if that means I'll give you Doncic. And then it's either you are taking,
but Doncic is so young and he's got the whole future ahead of him. You can't just trade, and then you can't just swap him with LeBron.
With a team like Dallas, we are creating a team to win a championship. And if you are going for a player like LeBron, you're actually going to lose so many players. You're going to lose most of your starters, and most of your role players, and even future picks. So I don't think it's going to happen. It's this is one of the Kyrie things we've been talking. And the last time we spoke about Kyrie shenanigans, the people were talking, they were saying we know this is Kyrie. This is Kyrie. But then I think you should focus on building the chemistry with Doncic, and then have this kind of chemistry with other role players. And I think Dallas they have a future if only they are only focused to get the objective in the long run, that is winning the championship. So he should just focus on building that chemistry. And then LeBron, it's not happening. We know LeBron is not in the Lakers. Charlie, it's not happening.
Charlie, cool. Now, for the Dallas Mavericks and Kyrie Irving, Doncic, and all their good players on the team, we've noticed that it's defense that they've had their problem with. If Kyrie Irving is saying he wants LeBron James on the Dallas Mavericks, is he trying to tell the Mavericks GM or the Mavericks front office that is he willing to let maybe say, okay, let's trade Doncic for LeBron? Because I don't think there's any other person on the Mavericks team that the Lakers will say, okay, I want to.
You see, the only positive you can take from this game as a Maverick fan is that Kyrie is not moving. Because if you want LeBron to come, that means you understand. But then let's look at it this way. LeBron wants to play with Bronny.
Yeah.
And Bronny can declare for the draft in 2024. He's eligible with 2024. And his likely destination is the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
So if you put 2 and 2 together,
your man do future calculation.
You understand?
Black Stars calculation.
You understand? If you put 2 and 2 together, LeBron wanting to play with his son before he retired. At least the last time he even said he wanted to play with Bryce, so your man can even go like 24 seasons. You understand? But then with this, Bronny having like a possible future at Mavericks and Kyrie, his long time friend. Look at what they did to us when they were at Cavs. I still feel the pain. You understand? We even had KD, but it didn't solve anything, bro. You understand? So if your long time friend meets you and you can meet your son, there is a possibility, but I don't think Mark Cuban is going to make that trade. You understand what I'm saying? Mark Cuban is not good because who are you going to lose? You are not going to give them your role players for LeBron. You are going to give Doncic like as he said, and Doncic is a young boy, 24, 26.
I'm not sure they are ready to give up someone
bro
who's young, has the future up ahead of him, and someone who's coming to the end of his career.
You will send like 8 role players to Lakers, and AD will be suffering. So it's
entering into the NBA offseason, we'll see more of these hypothetical trades. Some of them may come to pass, some of them to the Charlie. We know say it just be for the hype for the media. Now on this show, we said that a lot of teams have sacked their coaches because of what happened in the playoffs. Some of the coaches didn't meet some of the expectations, but the coaches are moving as well, and we have to talk about them. We've seen Monty Williams. Monty Williams has moved to the Detroit Pistons, becoming one of the most expensive coaches. He's looking to build the culture that he did with Phoenix, and then try to build that young team. We've seen Nick Nurse also move to the Philadelphia 76ers after they sacked Doc Rivers, and looking to team up with Joel Embiid and the likes to also maybe help the Philadelphia 76ers get a championship. Now the Milwaukee Bucks, when they were disappointed with Mike Budenholzer, they went with our former Raptors assistant Adrian Griffin. He's also moved to the Milwaukee Bucks to also try to help Giannis and Co. Also left another championship. So there are a lot of moves where you feel like, okay, now the coaches are moving here. They are trying to get pieces together to make something work. And then finally, Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel has also moved from the Lakers, and he's also looking to also get onto another team to also build a championship team around. So that is for the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker have a new coach, Frank Vogel. If you remember Frank Vogel in 2020, he was the championship winning coach for the Lakers. Now, Teddy, quickly before we leave, Frank Vogel moving to the Suns. We've got the Detroit with Monty Williams. We've got Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers. Which coach do you think made the best move? Which team do you think has the best coach at this point?
I think it's for now. It's the Rockets. They won that one with the Ime Udoka because the Celtics. As a Celtic fan, I really feel bad for how.
But for Celtics, at least
how you get there. You treated the Ime Udoka case.
The issue of his relationship with one of the staff coming up, and then really handled the situation very well, because this is someone who took us to our finals, and then he could have repeated it. And then I think a team like Rockets have young players around them, and then with a kind of coach he is, the kind of culture he built, even with his first year coaching the Celtics, I think they are going to do so great. And then Monty Williams, I think he's following money. At this juncture, he's following money because
I felt like
did you see the contract?
One of the most expensive.
Bro, 6 years, 78 million.
Yeah, at Pistons, there's nothing to build at Pistons. Pistons is
no, but they have a good young core. They've even got James Wiseman. Jaden Ivey has been playing well. Kid Cunningham, who went down with an injury, was also a very, very good player.
But then it's easy. It's like it's a long-term vision. This is like a long-term vision.
So they are trying to build.
But then for me personally, I feel he could have gone to a better team, another team. Maybe even the Suns,
the Bucks.
Maybe the Bucks even. And with the Bucks too, they also won with Adrian, because Adrian was the assistant coach with Nick Nurse,
Raptors, yeah.
and then he has that experience coming that is into the championship, winning the championship. So they have that one. But then Charlie Moore gives to his elbow, because the Bucks is not an easy team to coach.
It's not easy.
And then with Nick Nurse too, I think he has also won with the Philadelphia, and I hope James Harden will stay, because they actually need him, even though he actually didn't come big in the Celtics game. They still need him, because there's no facilitator in the game in their team right now, and I think. But Nick Nurse is one of the best. He has actually he won it with a team where Kawhi was actually being load managed, but they actually won it. So he's one of the best. So they won.
Kweku, what team do you feel has the best pieces now with coaching and then the players?
Yes, Doc Okrani Nanes. Even Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is like one of the best playoff coaches. He's having like the all-time top.
He's with wins.
With wins. So him going and Nick Nurse coming, it's a win. Mind you, Nick Nurse is like a very champion. It's like championship mentality. You understand? And he's coming to build a good defense, and hopefully Harden stays so that he can actually build with their two stars and then make a good thing. And then Monty Rivers, as he said, Monty Williams, sorry. It's the money, bro.
It's the money. It's obviously the money.
Because he has 6 years guaranteed for 78 and a possible 8 years for 100 million, bro. It's the money. It's the money. Because if you look at this Detroit Pistons team, you can stay there 10 years and it will be very hard for you. Very hard for you to go
big statement for Kweku, and tell you we've done the breakdown for you today. The NBA playoffs are still ongoing. The finals game 2 was a spectacle to watch. Miami was able to grab one in the high altitude endeavor. There have been some hypothetical trades. Kyrie looking to get LeBron James to the Dallas Mavericks, and then of course the coaches moving from Team A to Team B. We brought you all that today. My name was Sly Moore, doing this with Kweku and Teddy. We'll bring you more of the NBA playoffs analysis and breakdown in after game 3, where we'll go back to Miami and the Kaseya Center. Stay with us. We'll catch you some other time. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.